So here is what has happened in crypto today. Number one we have on our list is to talk about the wanted fugitive, or let me say the wanted personality of the year, which is talking about the person of the CEO of Telegram, that is Pavel Durov. I said Pavel Durov is added to the international wanted list by the Russian FSB. So we have it that Telegram's founder, Pavel Durov, is now added to the international wanted list by the Russian FSB. And if you might be wondering where all of this might be coming from, you have to first understand the backdrop to the story. We have it that last year, no, around 2024, Pavel was actually first, arrested by the French authorities, just basically because of the kind of social media, platform he creates. This is not the first time we've had it before. When he first even created his very first social media in Russia, where the Russian authority asked him to give or hand over to them every user detail and everything, which he declined and said is actually for a kind of platform that is decentralized and gives the people the authority to own their identity and not subject to the government's approval. So let's get it into this. Why did they declare wanted? Why is it wanted by the Russia FSB? One said it was reportedly placed on wanted list, on international wanted list. And also, we said he faces charges under Russian law linked to alleged terrorist activity assistance. That is the saying. There are link claims on him that is actually assisting terrorist activity in Russia through his platform Telegram. Talking about terrorists, they mean the Ukrainian government, or regarding the ongoing war with the Ukrainian government. That Telegram is actually harboring people who are using the channel or pages or channels or rooms in Telegram to recruit people to launch and coordinate attack in Russia. So let's get more into details because this is very interesting. So meanwhile, the Telegram founder has not publicly commented on the latest Russian charges. So let's get deep. So the founder and CEO of Telegram was placed on an international wanted list by the Russian FSB today, which is the Federal Security Service. Security Service on July 29, 2026. This came after the authorities accused him of failing to remove channels and bots allegedly allegedly linked to the Ukrainian intelligence and other extremist group because he failed to remove. So they are expecting him to play the big arm of patriotism. And Baba said, no, I won't, because apparently it's not even in Russia. I think that's why they are just making it very ambiguous by saying he's an international wanted. Because apparently, assuming he's in Russia, they would have arrested him, but it's not in Russia, so they don't know his whereabouts. So meanwhile, FSB warned that the Telegram founder could face a serious prison sentence. FSB links Telegram to alleged terrorist recruitment. According to the FSB, Durov faces charges under Article 205.1 part 1.1 of Russia's criminal code, which covers all, or let's say, alleged assistance to terrorist activity. The security service claims Telegram failed to remove channels, chats, and bots. Allegedly, he used the Ukrainian intelligence agency to recruit people and coordinate attacks, arson, and other crimes inside Russia. So we have more of the story by Sputnik here, but I just wanted to say something because there's a very important part. They even made claim that they said since July 2025, Russian authorities have reportedly detained 46 young users across 16 regions over alleged attacks on police officers and arsons carried out under instructions from Ukrainian intelligence. But this is the question. I create a platform. People use it for different reasons. Now you're telling me to hand over their details to you because you expect or you claim for them to be suspected terrorists. And I said, no, my own only offense here is to create the platform. So whatever people want to do with it is not my fault. You should track your people also with your own intelligence. But expecting me to always be giving you user data whenever you request of them. How shall we that tomorrow you not just come and frame somebody as a terrorist and you ask me to drop the details for them? So I still support Pavel. Baba is going to be okay. This is not the first time. So they are targeting him. Why are they targeting him? They are targeting him because the latest case had another chapter to Duro's long conflict with Russia authorities before creating Telegram. Duro founded this, I can't pronounce it. This became Russia's largest social media platform. During the 2011 Moscow protest and 2013 Ukraine Romanian movement, the FSB reportedly pressured him to block opposition groups and provide user data. Durov refused, and he was later removed as VK CEO in 2014. After this, he left Russia. His dispute with the FSB continued after Telegram launched in 2017. Russian authorities ordered Telegram to hand over encryption keys under anti-terrorism laws. Durov rejected the demand, arguing that Telegram could not create a universal master key without weakening its user privacy. And this is not the first time. He's also facing pressure in it. So I think right now his best bet might be Africa, America, Not Asia per se, because Asia countries are party to to Russia. They will just drop in pass like Nigeria drop us of hush puppy. So let's go to the next one. So next one we have here is the fact that the CEO of one of the largest company, managing users' assets for them. That is largest company, largest user managing assets company, holding Ripple is actually selling his largest Ripple shares of the company. That sounds crazy, right? So I'm telling you, I'm managing Ripple for you. I'm the largest person managing Ripple for people. Yet, me as the CEO, I'm selling my shares. Let's get to see what is happening and why that is actually happening. So, crypto assets manager Grayscale CEO Peter this files to sell 2,611 shares of his GXRP ETF. Mintberg follows Barry Silbert and Craig Sam in selling pre-listing GXRP shares. GXRP share count has fallen sharply, yet it holds roughly 6% of the US XRP market by net assets. So you should let that sink. 6% of the US XRP ETF. So Grayscale, the crypto assets manager overseeing more than 35 billion in assets under management AUM, has disclosed that the CEO, Peter Minsberg, plans to sell 2,611 shares of his company's XRP ETF. The filing comes as XRP trades near this particular price, raising questions about investor demand and the ETF's weaker position in the market. So my own thought to this is just that if the CEO is selling, that means he's seeing something coming. That is, Ripple is about to fall deeper and more deeper, maybe or might fall deeper than the current price, and he doesn't want to go down the drain with Ripple. So he maybe is trying to just sell off to take himself off the risk, to wade off the risk, then buy back when it goes lower. And if Ripple falls below the current price, that is fall below $1.09 or so, I'm very sure it's going to get to possibly 0.8 or $0.7 at the maximum. And I'll be very happy. I'll go to buy. I'll reload my bag like there's no tomorrow. So he moves to sell his shares and acquire the shares. He acquired the shares apparently on the 3rd of October 2024 through a private purchase from the trust well before GXRP became a listed spot XRP ETF. So the shares are currently worth around $20.45. So multiply that by 2,000. I think that's going to give us like 20,000 something dollars. So not so many, but still going to count for something, right? So let's move to the next one. And the next news we have right now is the fact that there are just crazy news happening today, right? Because let's look at this also. This is a company that declared 557 profits in the last quarter, yet their stock crashed 10%. So how can you declare a a 5 times profit, yet your stock is declining? But this is where it all gets crazy. And I'm beginning to get exposure into the stock market because it's something I still want to delve into, probably starting from next year. That most times, unlike and just like crypto, people might actually hype a stock and the stock doesn't actually meet up the expectation of people. And because of doesn't meet up the expectation and the hype, the price will crash. Not because the particular stock is not performing. Let's see what I mean by this. So let's first look at this. So the revenue of this particular company jumped 256.8% year over year. That is 79.32 trillion won in the year in the second quarter of this year. And now the stock fell 10% after missing analyst revenue and operating profit estimates despite strong AI demand. So this company is a company that creates AI chips for and conductors or semiconductors for AI data centers. So now the first questions whether AI semiconductor stocks could fall 70% from their cycle highs. And that's one thing I'm telling people. Most of the people that are running to remove their money from crypto and jump into AI stocks, and go still see my if you don't see how before, it will still happen. There's nothing that goes up that's not going to come down because when people start taking up their money and their expectation doesn't get to what they expect it to be, they definitely take up their money and the market is going to crash. AI market is definitely going to crash. So now let's look at how it actually happened. So the thing is, according to their second quarter annual report, the company posted 79.32 trillion won in revenue, up to 56.8% year on from a year earlier. Operating profit jumped 557.3% to 660.54 trillion won, giving the company a record of 76% operating margin. But this is where it gets all crazy. However, the strong results still missed market expectation. Now, market expectation killed them for you. So people expected their operating profit and their revenue to hit a particular benchmark, which is around 83.94 trillion won. But what they got was 63.99. And because of this, because they did not meet this actual price, this figure of 83.94, people felt like the stock did not perform well. And what did they start doing? They started selling. It's just crazy. Not like they are not in profit, but because it just doesn't meet the expectation, and they started selling. So I feel this is just a warning to many other people who are looking to invest a lot of money into AI stocks that you have to be careful. It is just the hype for now. Ara everybody, shima bale. That is everybody will still calm down. Sure you get. So please be careful about them. And the funny thing now is also the father. This is good news though. I think this is the only good news we have today. Although we are still waiting for the FOMC meeting to happen, which I think is going to happen in a few hours. We have started right now in USA time, which is going to determine a lot of things in the market. So, but for now, I think this is the only great things we have so far. That is the fact that Morgan Stanley has finally decided to enter the ETF market. And now they've entered the sports ETF market with the launch of Morgan Stanley Ethereum Trust. That is this. And the Morgan Stanley Solana Trust, which is this, on the New York stock exchange. The two funds stand out not only for their 0.14% annual expense ratio, which is the lowest among US Ethereum and Solana ETF. They also offer staking rewards. So we have it that most people who actually, most companies that do asset management and offer ETF, they charge lots of money. I think around 5 or 6%. Where is that? Where is it? 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 Okay, okay, okay. I'm trying to get where other how much other people charge. Okay, so yeah, they may stake 50%, 20%, but other companies charges around I think 10% or 8% or 6%, but they are coming with a very relatively low amount of let's say profit or interest rates for managing assets for you. And apart from that, now they're going to give you staking rewards because most of these previous asset managers like MicroStrategy, BlackRock, and all, they just ask you to buy ETF from them. They manage your assets for you. You buy their stock, you get your dividend, but they don't give you staking reward because actually what you do is just that you just don't give them money. You're actually buying a crypto asset from them. So that is like you staking your money, and they should give you a return, right? So now Morgan Stanley is saying they're going to give around 6 to 8% return on staking reward for people who actually buy ETF through them. Let's see, maybe this is going to turn the market upside down. Maybe people start removing their money from MicroStrategy, from BlackRock, other ones, and start putting their money into Morgan Stanley's ETF for both Ethereum and Solana. So that's all we have for today. I'll see you tomorrow. And possibly, maybe you can check up on our Twitter handles to see if you're going to drop updates concerning the FOMC meeting that's going to be happening in a couple of hours. So when next I come your way, stay cool and play.